Hey girls and guys, so this is going to be my third and last video for my semester project for my vlog, and then I'm going to have a few more videos coming to you guys very soon, some fun and exciting ones, but we're gonna get started with this one. So for my last video in this project, I'm going to be talking about a topic that is not easy to talk about. It is suicide. I am specifically going to be talking about suicide in adolescents. I found a couple of articles on suicide in adolescents. I did my best to keep it as recent as possible. The first one is from Huffpost, and the study was done by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, otherwise known as the CDC. So let's get started. Suicide rates for adolescent boys and girls have been rising since 2007. They have doubled for teen girls ages 15 to 19 years old from 2007. I just really want to say 2017. So, 2007 to 2015, in the last 40 years, according to the CDC. And for teen boys 15 to 19 years old, suicide rates have increased by 30% in that same time period as the girls. And then I found an article on USA Today in a study that they did. They found that children's hospital admissions of patients, five guys, that is really way too young to when we're talking about suicide. Suicide's never okay, but that actually shocked me. 5 years old, as young as 5 years old, guys. 5 to 17, I would raise that up to 18, but that's what they said in the study. 17 years old for suicidal thoughts or attempts have doubled from 2008 to 2015. They looked at 32 hospitals in that study, so just imagine what it is for every hospital in the country. Like, I can't even imagine that. In the article, school systems and the internet are being questioned for the reasoning to these suicidal thoughts, attempts, and actual suicide. And you can't, I don't really ever think you can truly know what the reasoning is for someone taking their own life. It's never a good reason. School systems are having a lot of trouble with bullying and getting bullying under control, so I can see where the article is coming from. And the internet also, I wouldn't blame the internet for suicide, but I was cyberbullied personally, so I can see how social media could be a factor in these teen suicides. But I just want to say it's not the internet or the school system, it's the people that are involved in these situations. And the best way for this to stop happening, or for it to decrease, is to do our best to stop bullying from happening, especially to young children. I'm about to share a story with you that I got from this article that actually almost made me cry when I read it. And I'll get to that in a minute. I still have a few more statistics. 2014, and this is from the same USA Today article. In 2014, the US saw 4 suicides of people under 18. In 2015, it saw 5 suicides of people under 18. In 2016, there were 13 suicides in people under 18. And so far in 2017, when the study was done, there were 7 suicides in people under 18. According to that same article, the most shocking was in January of this year, when 8-year-old Gabriel Taye killed himself 2 days after peers knocked him unconscious in a restroom at his school in Cincinnati. A camera video shows other kids touched and kicked Gabriel until an administrator arrived and stopped them. That's incredibly sad, guys. 8 years old. And he took his life because other kids decided that it would be fun to attack and bully him. And that's just incredibly sad that as young as 8-year-olds could be involved in bullying, and not just that, but physically assaulting another 8-year-old. I know that kids can be mean, and kids were mean when I was a kid, but I don't think that my age group was ever that mean to each other. Not at that age. That's just incredibly shocking to me. A Cincinnati homicide detective described it as bullying that bordered on criminal assault, and I wholeheartedly agree. The article didn't go on to say what happened to the kids involved in the attack, but for me personally, I know they're 8 years old, but I feel like they should have spent a little bit time in juvie and spent some time learning about the effects of bullying. As I discussed in my first video for this vlog, for this project, I have experienced suicidal thoughts. I have experienced wanting to hurt myself, and it is not a good feeling. I think I also told you guys that in junior high and the beginning of high school, I experienced bullying, cyberbullying included, and I think I'm not an expert, so I can't say this for sure, but from my own personal experience, I think that bullying, cyberbullying or whatever other kind of bullying, because to me it's just bullying, it doesn't matter how it's done. I think that bullying is a huge factor in teenagers hurting themselves either by self-harm, like cutting themselves or whatever else, or attempting suicide, because physically getting hurt, yes, that hurts a lot, but the mean and insulting and demeaning words that kids and teenagers sometimes say to each other, not really understanding the consequences behind those words, those hurt way more than getting physically hurt, and they stay with you longer than a bruise will stay on you. And I think that's a huge factor in suicide rates rising, and I think until we at least do our best to fix or stop bullying from happening, I sadly think that suicide rates might get even higher than they are right now. I think that's a huge factor in suicide. I think there's many other reasons. Suicide is never okay. It is not the answer to any of your problems. If you need to talk to someone because you are having suicidal thoughts, as I've said many times before, you can always come to me. You can message me on any of my social media sites, or you can email me. My email is also on my YouTube profile, or you can comment below, and I will always be willing to reach out to you. There is also many resources out there for you. A big one that I really like to use is the Semicolon Project. If you've never heard of that project before, they started it because a semicolon, which you use to write with in English, they have made that the symbol to represent continuing your life, continuing your story, because a semicolon is continuing a sentence when you write. And I'm not wearing it right now, but I have a necklace that has a semicolon on it that I got from a friend who lost her daughter to suicide. And speaking of them, I am dedicating this video to them, to my friend Jody and to her daughter Kyla Erwin, who, I don't want to get this wrong, I believe it was in 2015, it might be 2014, took her own life, actually around Christmas time. So I want to dedicate this video to her and her mom Jody, Shout out to you, Jody. I love you very much. And I just want to again say that suicide is not the way to solve any of your problems. There's always help for you. Please don't ever, ever give up, because you are not worthless. Your life is not hopeless. Just stick with your dreams and your goals, and talk to your family and your friends, and reach out to people and get involved in the community, and you will be okay. I promise you. And like I always say, if nobody else is there for you, I'm here for you. I love you all, and I hope you have a lovely Tuesday. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I have quite a few more videos coming for you. This is coming up as finals week at my school, so I will be a little bit busy. So I can't tell you exactly when you're gonna get those videos. I promise you guys I will get on a schedule very, very soon. But school has kept me pretty busy. So just stick with me. And I hope you stay fantastic.